ESPN has disrespected the Boston Bruins and ranking this team's prospect pool as last in the NHL. We also have some updates on Noah Hanifin, who's recently received an 8-year extension by the Vegas Golden Knights, which completely changes the offseason plans for the Boston Bruins. But we also need to discuss some ridiculous stuff going on around the NHL. And finally, we have the comment of the day. As usual, if you want your chance of having a comment featured with a great community of Bruins fans to discuss it, make sure to leave one. You'll have a chance of getting it put into a video. But before we get into all of this news that we have here today, we notice that 88% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. And make sure to hit the sub button. Join me along here as we head this team straight into the playoffs and beyond. And let's hope for a very, very, very solid playoff run by this Boston Bruins team. But let's get straight into all of the news that we have to bring you here today. And the first one is the ESPN rankings of the prospects and the Bruins being disrespected by being placed at 32nd in the NHL. This comes out from that article on the ESPN website, ranking the 32 teams based on their prospect pool, and they have put the Boston Bruins at last place. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this here, then we need to have a quick discussion about this, because I feel like this is absolutely disrespectful to the Boston Bruins. As after graduating Matthew Poitras and Mason Lohrei this season, the Bruins are the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, standing in an empty room meme. Fabian Lysell plays the part of Will Smith in this iteration. Lysell took another positive step to the AHL this season, notching a near point-per-game pace. He has a chance to be a skilled player in the middle six for the Bruins, and should get a look out of camp next season. And at the bottom there, it really just kind of says that Jackson Nelson signed this year from the NCAA is another prospect that is going to be joining this. But they really go on to say that Lysell is the only prospect this team has to offer, and putting him in a middle six role. Now, I know that this team does not have the best prospect pool. We look at around the NHL, there are far superior teams, but this team does not deserve to have the last prospect pool in the NHL. You can see here, I have a screenshot of some of the top prospects this team possesses. This is not in any order. This is just the way that the elite prospects had it put. But you can see Jackson Nelson, the recently signed NCAA player. Justin Brazeau coming up out of the AHL at this year, playing phenomenal in the NHL. Fabian Lysell, the top on this team. Anthony Richard, Georgi Merkulov. This team has so many good players that may not have been top names, but they are so underrated and will definitely have a great chance of cracking an NHL roster. So whoever wrote this article, I just don't think this is fair to put this Bruins team in the last space. We also have John Farinacci, another name I forgot to mention, but you can see here, there are lots of great players that this team has to offer, can work with going ahead. And we know the Boston Bruins' role right now as a playoff team. They're not going to have too many prospects, and we know that. We're not going to look at that and say that they have the best prospect pool, or they have so many prospects that are going to be the future of this team. They don't, but they do have a very solid pool of top prospects, still yet to make a professional debut, many yet to be in an AHL role or anything like that. So this team definitely has what they need to be successful in the future. It may not be as good as some other teams, but this is still not a last place prospect pool in the NHL, and disrespectful for the Boston Bruins, or by the of the Boston Bruins, to name them last in the free agency prospect pool. But another thing that we need to discuss here, kind of disrespecting the Bruins, but also the rest of the NHL, is the Vegas Golden Knights signing Noah Hanifin to an 8-year deal and somehow finding the money to be able to do this. Now, I know I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure many of you know who know me from other channels, or even here in some videos, I mentioned that I hate the Vegas Golden Knights. This team drives me insane, and I think that them signing players with money that they don't even have is ridiculous, and it needs to stop. They went out and signed, or traded for, I should say, Noah Hanifin, the top Bruins target of the trade deadline, along with JT Miller, and what would have been the top free agent target in Noah Hanifin this offseason. They go out and extend him to an 8-year deal. And going through their cap loopholes, once again, an absolutely unfair deal from the Vegas Golden Knights. And this is going to have to change the Boston Bruins' plans going forward on the defensive side of things. I'll pull this one up here, the screenshot from Pierre LeBrun. The $7.35 million AAV per season for an 8-year deal Noah Hanifin has signed with the Vegas Golden Knights. Two things here. 8-year deal. You know, I think wherever Noah Hanifin went, he would have gotten that. I think that is safe to say. But $7 million for a team that cannot have that many players on the roster without throwing 4 or 5 on the LTIR to make room for someone else and then bring them back for the playoffs. I think that's just ridiculous, and this is disrespectful to the entire league. And it's getting ridiculous at this point. The league has not done anything about it. We've seen it happen many years so far, since the inception of the Vegas Golden Knights. And to have this go towards... No, I will feel this, I would say this with any team would feel this way if their top target in free agency gets signed by the Vegas Golden Knights. But just for it to happen to Boston, the team that we are here to cover and the team that we follow, I think it's just ridiculous. This is what an article here from Noah Hanifin about free agency and Boston. So since his draft year, Noah Hanifin has been on the Boston Bruins radar. It is understandable as he is not only an outstanding top-pairing defenseman, but he's also from Massachusetts. When the Calgary Flames shopped Hanifin this season, the Bruins were among the top teams in the mix. However, the Vegas Golden Knights came out of nowhere and snagged him up. Now, I remember making the videos about this saying, oh, Noah Hanifin be a perfect fit for the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins need to have Noah Hanifin on their radar. The Vegas Golden Knights, of course they had to, come out, swoop up and get him, and sign him to an 8-year deal for money they don't have, with money they don't have, and having him be on this team that is completely cheating the way the NHL works with their cap space. And I am so frustrated with this. And it's getting to a point where this needs to happen. Something needs to happen to make this stop. The NHL needs to step in. Someone needs to do something about this and stop Vegas from doing this absolute nonsense. But, before I get too angry, let's move on to our final topic here. I want to know what you guys have to say about that as well, so make sure to leave a comment about that whole Vegas and situation with Boston. But let's head over to the comment of the day. And this is another comment that I really did, we spoken about it a little bit a few videos ago, and really comes into my mind a lot when I see this team play as of late. And this is from Tracy Eagles. I definitely think Marchand is injured. He gives all his heart and gives 200% every game. He has to be injured. Pray it's not serious and can bring it for the playoffs. We won't make it out of the first round without him at his best. Go Bruins. Now, absolutely, Tracy, I think you're very, very right about this. Marchand really hasn't seemed the same for almost the whole season, I'm willing to say. We've seen one of the first videos I made on this channel, but I think it was February and March, his goals and assists, the points per month, were just absolutely not there, and he really was unfortunately not noticeable for this team. And I think it really has to be part of an injury, but without him being fully healthy in the playoffs, not making it out of the first round. Now, I know this is going to be challenging. I know this is going to be a really, really tough playoff matchup. Looking like Tampa, but whoever we play, it's going to be a very tough playoff matchup. And I understand the war from everybody going in through last year, what happened, going through the pressure, but I believe in this team. I really do believe in this team heading into these playoffs. This team has what it takes if they put their mind and everything to it. I know it's a very cliche way to say this, but I believe in this team heading forward. Injuries are going to happen. Everything is going to happen to go against this team. But if this team really wants it, this team can do it. We've seen what it takes, what this team has given this season. Times they've not played their best, and there's times they've played very good. And if they put their mind, heart, body, soul into this, the blood, sweat, and tears, I believe this team could really pull this off. There's not as much pressure as last year being the best regular season team of all time, having all that media coverage, the President's Trophy. This team has none of that this year. They're going to put that all in the back burner, put it in the back seat, and go straight forward. So I believe in this team. I'll be touching on this a lot more soon as more of the playoffs come closer, but we have to believe. We have to believe this team can do it. If we don't, the team won't have the energy they need around the stadium, around the building, around the fans to be able to get to that point and go. But I fully believe this Bruins team can do it if they want to. Now, that's a big thing, if they want to. But like I said, I'll be touching a lot on more of this when the playoffs do come up closer, when we finally get that certified, the guaranteed opponent. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like. That's all I got here today. Once again, if you do want to have a comment featured in the video, make sure to leave one there. I'll pick a few, once a video usually, unless there's a lot of news. But anything around the news, anything you want to discuss with a great group of Bruins fans, we have them here. So make sure to leave one. But like I said, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.